Good morning. Thanks for staying with Money FM 89.3. You're on Breakfast with Lynlee and on Mind Your Business this morning. Some of the most iconic celebrity mentoring relationships show that even the most successful individuals need a mentor. Steve Jobs mentored Mark Zuckerberg, Christian Dior mentored Yves Saint Laurent, and Warren Buffett mentored Bill Gates, but not everyone can have access to these mentors, let alone good mentors, right? That was exactly the problem our guest faced a few years ago, and he came up with an idea. A global design mentorship platform to fill that gap. He is very young, 26 years old, and he is right here in our studio with me, Felix Lee, co founder of ADPList or Amazing Design People List, one of the world's largest mentoring platforms for designers. Welcome to the studio. Welcome to the show, Felix. Very good morning to you.
Good morning, Lynn. Excited to be here.
Okay, now take us through, Felix. What happened? What made you come up with the idea? Why were you looking for a mentor?
Yeah, thanks for the question, Lynn. And so, when we started ADP List, our mission is to democratize mentorship for everyone around the world. And one of the reasons why we use the word democratize is because, the access to mentorship and knowledge sharing, and especially network itself for learning is just not available to everyone, right? And so, I came from a working class family in Singapore where, my mom is a teacher in kindergarten and my dad is a baker himself. And so growing up, I just don't have access to the tech industry, or rather, just the white collar jobs, network itself here in Singapore. And so it was a little bit tough for me to, break into this knowledge network where, I could just easily get access to, friends of parents to understand more about their industry. And so I had to do a lot of cold emails and cold LinkedIn messages as well. And so it had became a pain point by the time I was in poly year 2 or 3. And, I sort of had this, notion back then in 2018 that, the world would have been better if everyone would just open up their calendars and share their knowledge. And that's one of the biggest reasons why, we started ADP List, because my co-founder, he's an African as well. And in Africa, they're very much still behind some countries in terms of, the knowledge itself and the maturity of technology. And so very far off Silicon Valley. And so when we decided to build that together, it was also because he had faced the same problem in a totally different part of the world. And so we came together and do that. Yeah.
Right, Felix, as I was reading about ADP List, wow, what an amazing story. You had quite an interesting beginning, actually. You managed to raise funds, $1.3 million in the fundraising round. And also, that was at the height of the pandemic. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, it was a tough race in the sense because me and my co-founder, we just don't come from a background where investors would look at and be like, hey, these kids are somewhat trustable. So then I was 24, 24, and my co-founder, he was 27 at that time. And so we had no prior experience of startup success, like big startup success, or just didn't come from the FANG companies. And so we just didn't look like any founders that these investors were looking for. But very fortunately, we had some amazing people right here in Singapore, right? For example, Siu Rei from Carousel and Ting Fong from GetGo. Two of them has been incredible in our journey to just become one of our first investors. And Sequoia Capital Search came in later on as well in the same round. And it was just sort of like this round where we felt like people were betting on the future of mentorship and the two of us, rather than just looking at the past track records that we had. And that was the chance that we needed to prove ourselves.
Yes, indeed. The online nature of your business means geography is no barrier.
Yeah.
So, tell us more about some of the big name mentors that you have around the world.
Yeah, so there are a lot of mentors. Obviously, today we have 15,000 mentors, and they come from the biggest Fortune 500 companies, right? So we have folks from Facebook, Google, even the banks like JP Morgan, Citibanks. All of them are on the platform. Even local companies like where employees share their design knowledge, product management as well, like Carousel and Shopback. All of them are on the platform practically today. So it's an exciting community. I think people are sharing knowledge on a day-to-day basis. On each day, or rather each month, we do close to about 35,000 mentorship sessions.
How many mentors do you have right now in the community?
15,000. Yeah.
Wow. Across how many countries?
140 countries.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
a lot of mentors. Now, what kind of how do you source for these mentors, and what kind of mentorship do they provide?
Yeah. So, one of the proudest thing that I can always say as a founder is that we have grown to the size that we are today within 2 years with $0 in paid marketing. And so,
Wow.
word of mouth is 100%, our, what we pride ourselves on. And in our company, we have this OKR and this goal that we set to be the happiest place to mentor. So we make sure that, the experience that we provide for people is one that is flexible, is accessible, but also easy for them to onboard. And so mentors really love that experience because they couldn't get anywhere else, and they just really tell their friends about it. So word of mouth is really one of our biggest driving factors to actually get even new mentors. And just fun fact, right, only 30% of people get approved to be a mentors after they signed up as well.
Okay, and what kind of mentorship do these mentors provide?
Yeah, so they provide from things like portfolio reviews, career advice to resume reviews, or even just discussing, problems at work that they might face, whether it be strategy planning or roadmap planning.
Okay, mentorship, to be very honest,
Yeah.
can sometimes cost quite a lot of money. How do you charge?
Yep.
How do you make money?
Well, it's first of all, people are always surprised to find out that ADPList is completely free. It's almost like a social network, and so all of these 15,000 mentors, in which I'm extremely grateful for, they come to the platform and they contribute for free, right? And so members around the world can get access to them, just by booking their time on ADPList and immediately just get on the call for free. And so the way that we make money is actually through B2B businesses, right? So companies actually come to ADPList, they pay us an annual fee and say, hey, I want to list some educational contents on your platform. And so, this is a fee for you to create those contents for us, co-create those contents and distribute it to your audience.
Okay, very interesting. So tell me about the premise. If I were someone, take me as the example rather, if I'm looking for a mentor, how should I go about doing it with your platform? Is it a one-click access to a global network of mentors? How does that work?
Exactly. So we love to say that you can push a click of a button and the mentor would appear in the next moment. That is like our magic tagline in that sense. And so anyone that's listening to this, the way that you can actually use ADPList is really simple. So you sign up for an account. The onboarding process is just a few steps to understand your profile, where you're at in your career, whether junior, senior, director level. And we actually match you to the mentors that we feel like, and based on our algorithm would actually recommend you to mentors that is, relevant to your career and your career stage as well, and your goals. Yeah.
So there's a matching service here as well.
There is a matching. So we do provide two ways. One is a directory where you can just filter and explore. And the other one is a much more algorithm-driven one where we recommend you free mentors that you should meet.
I see. So the one that's the one that you can choose yourself through filtering through a list of mentors, are they available on a shared calendar or something? How does that work?
Yeah, so all of them actually are provided with their own tool on ADPList where they can set up their calendars. And so which is why, we really pride ourselves on that, because it creates an easy experience for them to become a mentor. And so what our discovery page does is that we actually ranked behind the scenes. We actually rank the mentors according to various factors. And one of the factors is their availability, right? So we want to show you mentors who ideally would be available within the next 7 days. And the reason for that is because, the problem is still fresh with you. It's, you are proactive about it. And we want to get you someone as fast as possible to help you with that problem.
And they're on video as well?
They're on video as well. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Now, tell us, how are you, taking this to the next level?
So, we have a lot of competitors that has been here for many, many years. And one of the biggest difference is that all of them are charging money. So, you get on the call and you just pay a one-time fee. But we refuse to do that. One of the things that we wanted to do is to maintain a platform for free and really become more of a network model where we allow third-party stakeholders to be a part of this knowledge ecosystem. Our vision is to is to have the world contribute to the humanity's knowledge. And that means that, third parties, for example, from Facebook to Google, where they have their internal processes or knowledge and whatnot, they can share with, the rest of the world through ADPList. And also third-party creators and mentors can come onto ADPList in the future, to create mini courses and, course books and whatnot. And so that is really how we want to take it to the next level. It's not just going to be a mentorship platform, but a place where third parties come in and contribute as well.
Okay, very interesting. In terms of your mentoring service, is there a target that you're setting in terms of growing that number of list of mentors that you have?
There is. So today we have, so I'll start off with 3 things, right? So we have the mentorship minutes, so how many minutes we're doing, the number of mentors, and the number of members. So today we're at about 10 million minutes, so far in the past year alone. And so this year we're going to go for more than 3 times of that, about at 30 million. And, over the next 3 years, we want to be at 100 million minutes of mentorship done across the world. So that's our first goal. The second one is, really bringing up the number of mentors to at least, 50,000 mentors around the world today. So each mentor has on average about 7 to 8 slots per month. And so 50,000, that would mean that, hundreds and thousands of people will be able to get mentorship every single month. And that's our target. The last one is, about the number of learners and mentees on the platform. So today we have hundreds and thousands of people. I cannot reveal the real number, but, we want to have 1 million users and learners by the end of, 3 years, right? Which is, the next sort of 24 to 36 months. And that's really what we're going for.
Ambitious plans, Felix. We're in conversation with Felix Lee, co-founder of ADPList, or Amazing Design People List, isn't it?
That is. Yeah.
Okay, Felix, I want to ask you, is there a mentor who has helped you in your journey to become an entrepreneur?
there is a lot, struggle to find one to name, but if I were to say, I would think that, Sue Ray from Carousel has been a great friend and just great advisor and mentor overall. So someone who, he could just pick up the phone when I face a problem, and because he knows exactly what goes on in the startup and he has been through that phase. And so I'm just extremely thankful for him for being there. I mean, other really honorable mentions and amazing people in my life, Ting Fong from Get Go as well, Christopher Kwek, who is here in Singapore, and many of them are also in the Bay Area in San Francisco, where I fly to as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Felix. We have so much to talk about with you. You have a very interesting story, but we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much, Felix. Felix Lee, co-founder ADPList, or Amazing Design People List. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lynn.
Stay with Money FM 89.3.
Money FM 89.3.